Every morning at 6, I open my ranch gate to haul feed, fencing supplies, and equipment into my property. Then one morning, a silver SUV was sitting directly across my entrance. I assumed someone had parked there by mistake and figured it would only happen once. The next morning, the SUV was back in exactly the same place. My tractor couldn't fit through the gate without an awkward detour, costing me valuable time before the day's work even started. Later that day, I walked over to the subdivision entrance and politely introduced myself to the driver. Linda Harper explained she stopped there every morning because it was convenient while organizing neighborhood activities. I explained that the gate was the only entrance to my ranch and asked if she could leave it clear each morning. Linda smiled politely, said she'd try, then drove away. I thought the problem had finally been solved. The following morning, her SUV was parked in front of my gate again. This time, I quietly took several photos, noting the time and date before squeezing my pickup through the narrow opening to continue my work. Over the next 2 weeks, the same thing happened nearly every day. I kept a record of each incident, saving photos and short notes while hoping we could resolve the issue without creating unnecessary conflict. Around the same time, I scheduled a contractor to repair an old drainage ditch that ran alongside my property entrance. The work had already been planned before the parking issue began and was necessary before the next rainy season. Before construction started, I placed bright warning stakes and large temporary no parking construction area signs around the entrance. The signs were easy to see from both the subdivision and the farm road. The excavation crew arrived just after sunrise and reviewed the property survey with me before unloading their equipment. We confirmed the drainage trench would stay completely inside my property line, exactly as shown on the approved plans. As the crew prepared to begin digging, I noticed a familiar silver SUV turning onto gravel road again. Even with the warning signs and construction equipment clearly visible, Linda drove toward the gate as if nothing had changed. Instead of using one of the many open spaces nearby, Linda parked directly inside the marked work zone and stepped out with her clipboard. I politely reminded her that excavation was about to begin and pointed toward the temporary warning signs. Linda insisted she would only be there for a minute and walked toward the subdivision entrance to speak with a few residents. After confirming the vehicle was unattended and the work area had been properly marked, the contractor asked whether he should continue with the scheduled project. I looked over the property's survey one more time with the foreman. Every survey stake matched the approved drainage plan, and the work area had been clearly marked since the previous afternoon. With everything confirmed, I told the crew to continue the scheduled excavation. The excavator carefully began digging the drainage trench exactly along the marked property line. Within minutes, the trench surrounded 3 sides of the parked SUV, leaving it safely untouched but completely unable to drive away until the work was finished. About 20 minutes later, Linda returned carrying her clipboard. She froze when she saw her SUV sitting safely in the middle of the completed drainage trench and hurried toward a construction crew asking what had happened. Linda insisted the construction crew move her SUV immediately. The foreman calmly explained that the excavation was following the approved work plan and that heavy equipment couldn't safely cross the open trench until the scheduled phase was complete. The foreman showed Linda the survey stakes, construction permit, and warning signs that had been placed before work began. He explained that stopping the excavation midway would create a safety hazard for both workers and nearby vehicles. Several neighbors gathered near the subdivision entrance after noticing the construction equipment. Many quietly mentioned they had seen the SUV blocking my farm gate for weeks and were surprised that it continued despite repeated requests. One neighbor recalled seeing the temporary construction signs posted the previous afternoon. Another remembered the orange safety cones being in place before Linda parked that morning, confirming the work zone had been clearly marked. After reviewing the survey, permits, and the marked work area, the responding deputy explained that the excavation appeared to be taking place on private property within the established construction zone. He encouraged everyone to remain calm while the contractor completed the project safely. The contractor completed the first phase of the drainage project exactly on schedule. Once the concrete drainage pipes were installed and inspected, the crew prepared a temporary gravel crossing so the work area could be reopened safely. After the safety inspection was complete, The crew laid heavy steel construction plates across the trench to create a temporary vehicle crossing. The foreman invited Linda to move her SUV once he confirmed the crossing was safe to use. Linda carefully drove her SUV across the temporary crossing without any damage. Before leaving, she thanked the construction crew for making sure the vehicle could be removed safely once their work allowed it. Before everyone left, the deputy suggested installing permanent "Keep Gate Clear" signs near the ranch entrance. Linda agreed that clearly marked access points would help avoid misunderstandings and keep emergency routes open. As the sun set across the ranch, I closed the gate and looked over the completed drainage project. What had started as a frustrating daily inconvenience ended with improved access, better communication, and a safer entrance for everyone using the road. The following week, the completed drainage system was inspected after the first heavy rain. Water flowed smoothly away from the ranch entrance, keeping the gravel road dry and making it much easier for tractors and delivery trucks to reach the property. Several neighboring ranchers stopped by to see the finished drainage project. They were impressed by how much easier it would be to keep the entrance accessible during storms and appreciated the practical design. A county engineer visited to perform the final inspection and confirmed that the drainage improvements met all approved construction plans. The completed project would help protect both the ranch road